panic disorder, rage, severe depression. On top of all that, I'm stressing. Took a blind date to my therapy session and then tried to kill her. Her first impression was I'm groovy, I need a lumbotomy. But when I press play, trouble leaves up out of me. Fuck the real world and my fat ass stuck in. Cause in my music, hotties are fucking expression. Getting out all I wrote, depression, ripping out all your throat. And if my hearing was ever to go, mass murder would be inevitable.
Welcome to another episode of Maniacal Music Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always. I got drugs in my pocket, and I ain't fucking kidding about that. And I'm always under a spell. I own a dungeon dragon, and he lives off tiger blood. Just like Charlie Sheen. You'll never hear me say, fuck mad child, but step back from my alien blueprint before I disconnect a fool. You know, Chancey, you know. My co-host, though, has been known to ride up Mount St. Michael on his mount while on that black acid devil. He's a shit talker who is wanted for putting all the men under his spell. They call him the gremlin with a black belt who isn't civilized and is a divine object of hatred, but he is no fool. Chancey motherfucking Greif.
Hi. I mean, it's kind of started off with him going on these, elaborate introductions, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to say? So I'm just like, hi.
I mean, back to basics.
That's the best reaction on air that we've actually had so far.
That's good. It caught me off guard, but it works.
Good.
It works.
Yep, that's why it works. And yeah, Chancey couldn't top those intros anyway, so just gotta let him do the funny thing. But
for sure.
And of course, we are joined by a guest as always who brings us an album because we love hearing new music on this show. And our guest this week, and let's see how bad I butcher this, is Jaian Music.
You got it. You took a big pause in the middle there, but that's my name. I'm happy to be here. Listen, first time guesting on another show in a little while, so I'm kind of flying off the handles too. But I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, my pleasure. We took a little while to get a date to lock you down, but
sorry about that. Schedule's insane right now.
Well, in the career you're in, I could believe that. And
yeah.
What exactly is it you do, though? Because I see your pictures on Facebook, and I see
I
assume you're a sound engineer of some kind. But I was curious, on what?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I am a sound engineer. I work in television. I work in studios, and I also work online. I think that's the most interesting part, probably for the listeners. But basically, I go by Jaian Music online. I cover songs from anime series and video games. I also podcast about anime, and I do that all on my YouTube channel. And what a sound engineer does, well, basically, think of it as taking a sound. I'm gonna make it really basic, and probably will insult my audio engineering colleagues, but I make something sound better. I will take a song that I find interesting. I will rewrite the melody. I will rewrite the chords. I'll rewrite everything. I'll choose the instrumentation. And then by instruments, I'll be like, oh, do I want this coming out of a piano? Do I want this coming out of a guitar? And then I'll make my own cover version of it. And then I'll do mixing, which is basically sound treatment, making it there's too much low end here, there's too much bass here, I'm gonna scoop that out, or I want it to be more reverberant, I want some sort of delay effect to it, so I'll stylize it the way I want. And then there's a mastering process. Think as mixing as micro, just the little bits, all those separate tracks, and then mastering macro, the one finished product. How can we make the whole sound better? Can we make it louder here? Can we dynamically, what can we do? And then that gets shot out into video editing and posting. And I do that 2-3 times a week. Right now, I'm really trying to put in those hours and getting us as many good covers out there, and posting them on Spotify and everything, and the multi-platforming of it all. But yeah, that's a very bare bones version of what I do.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fucking work. That's what it sounds
like to me. But it's a lot of fun too.
I'm sure. I mean, just like Kind of like podcasting, but a lot more complex than me just sitting here stone talking to people. So, but it is what it is. So you brought us an album there, Jaian, and I'm curious as hell. Well, for one, tell the listeners what album you brought, and then
Okay, so
why'd you bring it?
So I'll be honest, maybe like 6 months ago, I've never heard of this album. Like I was told about this artist maybe like in the last 6 months, I want to say, and I started listening to a song here and there, and then I came across this album, and I think it's their best work. I'm talking about Aphex Twin, and I'm talking about Drukqs, I think is how you pronounce it. It's I got the wiki here, and I'm kind of got a spitball here, but it's basically the 5th studio album from Aphex Twin. He's an electronic musician. And what I love about this album, it's like one track will be like a classical piano piece, like with like computer controlled piano. So this is like like these songs cannot be humanly played. These are like very, like your fingers cannot extend like to a keyboard like that. And then you have like super intense drum and bass tracks, after another. So like it could be like chill piano, big beats, chill piano, big beats. And the genres this album touches is super eclectic. You got like I said, drum and bass and classical. You got some intelligence dance music, ambient music, and my favorite, because I studied it, there's electroacoustic element in here, which is like my bread and butter. I compose electro music all the time, and this album really inspired like a lot of ideas. When you listen to something on a track, you're like, oh, I want to try that out, or oh, this is really cool. This would sound good if I did this to it. This album, these 30 tracks, one after the other, it's like a chain of ideas. It's like an explosion of ideas. I every song, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. It doesn't stop. So I'm beyond happy to introduce this to the audience and to see where it goes.
Well, Chancey, why don't you give your review of what you thought of his album first?
It was definitely a conflicted feeling at first,
Oh, okay.
Well, mostly just because like I could hear a lot of the same, like that same, not quite a harpsichord, but like the electroacoustic thing you were talking about.
Yeah.
But it was like this, almost like the same instrument on like it just like skip tracks. So like you listen to a track like the opener, and then like track 7 or track 12 or something like that, and then like towards the end, it's like, is that the same fucking instrument? Like, what the fuck am I? What's going on here?
I agree. Like it bounces around a lot, and like in more ways than one. And the thing with the story with this album, just I think this will give context. Aphex Twin had like a USB key with like hundreds of songs, like a hard drive or something with hundreds of songs that he had composed, and he forgot it, I think on a plane or somewhere. And out of fear that this was going to get leaked, these were just collection of songs that he had composed, right? Because the thing with Aphex Twin, this is the type of person that I've heard in interviews say, like, oh, what do you do? Music. And what else? Music. I wake up, I make music, I go to bed, I wake up, I make music, I go to bed. We're talking about an individual who's very hyper focused and hyper passionate about what they do. And this hard drive had a lot of random songs, and he was like, I'm just, out of fear of them being leaked, I'm gonna make an album out of it, and I'm gonna release it. So I think that speaks to like what over here we had this, and then over here we had that. Like, what's going on? There's so many different elements to this. I think that speaks to what you probably explored.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, I've taken ecstasy a few times in my life, and I couldn't think of anything that ever would actually annoy me while I was on ecstasy.
Oh my gosh.
It's a front runner.
Fair enough.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just that there's some of the tracks were like, like, wow, this really is from 2001, isn't it? Like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
And then like it's all of a sudden it's this other thing. Like when I get to my top 5, I was just like, it's so like at first I was like, dude, this guy listened to an episode. He's specifically trying to fuck with me because there's so many tracks that are on this CD that I would pick as either my number 1 or just like its own top 5 because I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good sample, and I also love like a good little minute 30-second little skit, like a skit track, if you will.
Right.
We can call it that for sake of description. But yeah, I was like, man, this guy's fucking with me. Like, oh, I don't know.
Bro, I never met you and I never listened to an episode before.
I know.
I
know.
I wasn't trying to do that to you, bro.
No, it's still, I would have laughed either way if you would have. I would have been like, all right, touche, man. Touche. You got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you first said you want to switch your CD up the other day, and I started listening, I went to Spotify, so I said to Chancey, and I immediately was like just previewing some tracks, and I'm like, there's no lyrics. There's no
lyrics.
No lyrics. I mean, there's, and I was like, all right. I'm like, I could dig it. Yeah. And then this morning, I literally sat and had my coffee and listened to the CD. And I mean, I just started smoking weed too, like now. But when I listened to it completely sober, that's the funny thing. And I'm like, damn, I should listen to this high. But
this album, it's a trip. It's a total trip. But it's the reason why I picked it. A big reason is it's very eclectic. Like there's everything. There's everything you want and everything you don't want and everything you love and everything you hate. And that's the thing. As listeners, we're gonna all interpret it differently because it's lyricless. You know what I mean? You can't attach to words and be like, oh, that's what he meant by that. No, not here. I got a kick drum, I got a snare, and I got some pads. And then for you, I got a nice piano track.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing to me? We're going back and forth. We're going up and down, but it's great. For me, anything that catches me by surprise, like this artist's entire discography, like I really encourage viewers to go. Aphex Twin is one of a kind, really one of a kind, and I'm so glad I got introduced to what he does.
Well, I mean, I had two thoughts while listening to it. I'm like, okay, this sounds like the background music for the stupid YouTube videos my kids watch, and I was also like, and I was like, because like it's that tone, it's those beats in the background of the videos they watch that drive me fucking annoying because they watch the same videos every fucking day, and it's just like you hear those beats in the YouTube shorts, and it's like, oh my god, like I hear the same sounds every day, and it literally just has me sitting there on my computer like, oh shoot me now, what's going on, Anthony? We're not. It ain't. Oh, I didn't change the fucking background yet. Damn it!
I told you.
I know you told me. It's early. Shut your mouth.
That's the greatest. That's the greatest shit ever. Yeah.
What's going on, Anthony? Yeah, this is my music show, man. Ain't no paranormal show, unfortunately. Not today. Monday, I'll be back with that. But no, I mean, I was like, this is either YouTube background music or this is what the hell is the other thing? And obviously, I was like, this is like video game music, like from the late '90s. Like, I could picture like some like what's it called, Space Blast or what the hell it's called,
right?
But I could picture like this being the one track. I was like, this could be the background of Space Blast. Like, it's literally just like those arcade games, like background music, a lot of it. And I was like, it's pretty cool. So
yeah,
I definitely found a top 5 ones I freaking loved. But like some of them I was just like, okay. And like the one that was like 48 seconds, it was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's a Chancey thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. It's definitely something it's not something I would turn on regularly to listen to, because I need words. Like,
I feel like I don't need words personally. Like I've been composing like music for films and music, like instrumental music on my channel all the time. That you realize that vocals are nice, but if you just want to vibe, like music's music, you know?
Well, I get that. I mean, I'm a huge fan of a band that we're actually doing a bracket for the next 2 weeks called Nightwish.
Okay.
And like their music, even the non-lyrical tracks, that's what everybody says. It's like, oh, it's a movie. It's like movie. It's like listening to a movie, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm watching Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, something. The way they do their music.
Right.
So it's like I can dig music like that. I can't do a whole CD of it. I need like I could mix it in with some mix in some non-lyrical tracks in the middle of the CD or something, and I'm down for that. But it's just a whole CD of that. It's not something I'm gonna turn on while I'm driving or anything, because it's just like yeah, I don't know. It's just
No, I get that.
Ain't my cup of tea. But I had 5. Definitely had top 5 off this without an issue. So
yeah, I can get into my top 5 if that's where we're at.
That is where we at and what's going on, Shannon. Yes, we're up early.
What time is it for you guys right now?
Where are you at?
I'm in Montreal. I'm in
Oh,
I mean,
well, what time is it for you then? Are you central
10:27 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah,
you guys are on the same time zone. I'm an hour behind you.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not
So
bad.
I mean, it's not like we're on the West Coast or something, and it's like fucking 7:00 in the morning. Like that.
Yeah, right. 7:30. I just wouldn't have went to sleep. I'd have been like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna run it."
Sure.
I mean, I was up at that time, but I ain't podcasting at that time. I gotta have some coffee first. But yeah, if you want to give your top 5 for your album there.
So the thing is, it's really hard for me to. I can't really order them. I'll just say Can I just give my 5 favorites?
Yeah. You could, however you want to do it, brother.
Okay, cool. So I got. These are all different names. There was 54 Cyru Beats. That was one of them. There was Avril 14th is a beautiful one, and it's like this one popped off, by the way, on Spotify. Like Avril 14th is on 151 million streams. Just saying, this one's on a different level. There's a QKTHR was another one. Father, it was that 7-minute one. It was really cool. And then the other one, the opener. I don't know how even these track names are ridiculous, by the way. Like,
I'm so glad someone else said that.
You know,
like I was like, I'm gonna fuck
man
these
does
all
not
up.
care about his track titles. Man does not care. And you know what? I'm gonna plug this here. I haven't announced this anywhere. If anyone's listening, I have a music project called Chip Machine. This is Aphex Twin inspires a lot of the music I do for that upcoming music I do for that one. I'm going to be covering Avril 14th. I'm going to do an instrumental full cover of that. It's coming out for that project. I won't say it anywhere else, but the artwork is being made and it's coming up in the next few weeks. So yeah, those are my top 5.
Nice.
Right.
Well, what about you guys?
Sir Chance-a-Lot, or your top 5?
I actually pulled 12 out of mine.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you know, I was like, there's 30 tracks here. I better at least, I was like, let's get close to half. And then I was like, I got to 12 and I was like,
close
12's good. 12's good. The Avril 14th that you were talking, that was good. I definitely had that one. Mount St. Michael's Mount was another one.
Yes, that one was good. Yes, yeah.
The BBY DHON chord.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty cool. The AFX 237 version 7 was pretty cool.
These track names, bro.
I know, right? I'm like
8.9.
Oh, dude, when I get to my top 5, I was just like, okay, this one's making the list just on its own. Because I dude. The Nano 2, that one that you were talking about, the 54 Cyru Beats. The Aussios, Aussois, or whatever it is, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The Jaian Switch 7. So then for my number 5, it's Cock version 10. I was like, I don't recall episodes 1 through 9, but version 10 kind of got me because I'm just sitting here listening to it. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, you cunts, let's have some Aphex Acid. I was like, okay, all right. Reminds me of the Prodigy. Let's put this shit on here. Number 4 was Taking Control. 3 was Bit 4. Number 2 was Father. And then number 1 was Lorna Derrick.
That one was good too. Father, yeah, like I said, Father is incredible. But yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I love this album, so any list will be like, yeah, I like your list. Like,
that's usually how I roll on this show. Is I'll just sit there like, yep, that was good too. Every once in a while, though, there's one of my own songs that I'm just like, that one sucked. That's why I didn't put it on my list. But so I got a top 5. And a lot of them have been said already, I think. But number 5 was BBYD High on Chord, because that was actually a decent track. I think that's the first one I put on my list too, because that was actually like a really good track. And number 4 for me was Vord Hospin, because that breakdown, like the middle of it, was fucking awesome. Like I heard that, I was like, oh, someone needs to put some lyrics to this and make it a rap song. But
it's an instrumental album.
I know. Trust me, I know, man. If it's I mean, if you want to be Linkin Park and put like in like a instrumental track in the middle of it, I get that and I love that. But
yeah,
I mean, it's good. Number 3 was Mount St. Michael and St. Michael's Mount, because that was it wasn't that track, but there was actually like there was one track I was listening to it. My wife's like, "So what are we watching? A video of someone dying in the forest and they're being fairies all around?" Like, she's like that. She's like, that's what it sounds like on this track. It's like it's what you picture in a movie with a scene like that happening. But it wasn't that track, but it was a different track. But I had to throw it out there because when she said it, like I started dying laughing. Like, because it actually did sound like that. It sounded like you're in the middle of the woods, and like I don't know about the dying part. That's just her morbid fascination. But number 2 for me was Audubon EQ Tracks 4, because that was a good one. I definitely could see that being a video game track. And number 1, of course, was Cock version 10, because the name itself is fucking hilarious, but it was actually a good track, and I actually enjoyed that one the most. It was actually very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's what it is, guys. That's Drukqs Aphex Twin. Go stream it. Now available for over 2 decades.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw it was 2001, I'm like, damn, this has been around for a while, and I've never even heard of it. Like it's always surprising when but I said the same thing about Prodigy when Chancey brought it until I played some of the tracks, and I was like, oh, I've heard of this, unfortunately. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed your CD to some degree at least.
Mm-hmm.
But which that's all.
I went for the ride.
Yeah, Chancey always goes for the ride.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Buy the ticket, get the ride, or take the ride. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, this brings us to the point where since Chancey went first for answering my US album, he gets to go next with his album. Chancey,
Nice.
What album did you bring?
I chose the name of the album's Wait by the Rollins Band.
I'm a liar. Yeah, I'm a liar. I'll tear your mind out. I'll burn your soul. I'll turn you into me. I'll turn you into me. 'Cause I'm a liar, a liar, a liar, a liar. I'll hide behind a smile.
I'm a big fan of Henry Rollins. He's ever since he stopped doing music and started doing like spoken word tours and stuff, that was kind of some of my first exposure to him. And then I found out, like, I shouldn't say that. That's not true, because Liar, when I saw the video for it on MTV, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I really dove into, like, the Black Flag, and then like Rollins Band, and then his spoken word stuff, because he had his own TV show where he would interview musicians and whatnot. It was great. But a lot of his stuff has lyrical impact, which is kind of interesting. We started off with a completely instrumental album, and then we move on to Henry Rollins, who always has something interesting to say, even if he's not trying to say anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really interesting how it complemented itself in that fashion.
Right.
Yeah. Well, as the guest, what did you think of Chancey's album?
So, Wait, to me, I never heard of this. I never heard of the Rollins Band before, so I was right away, intrigued out of just not knowing what it was and exploring it. And then I saw it came out in the 90s, and then I was like, okay, this is definitely like a energetic, poignant, and like strong album. You know what I mean? There's like every track kind of just feels like it has a statement. Every track feels like there's power coming through the earphones and into your brain, like sonically. We're just pumping you in. And lyrically, it's well written. Musically, it's well structured. So to me, altogether, I hadn't gone back into metal in a while. The last metal thing I really like, and I think I might trigger people by saying this is metal, but like Avenged Sevenfold was kind of like the last band I like. You see what I mean? But I did
No. We just had our guest last week bring them on the show. That's why it's funny to us.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Because they brought Nightmare. So
Nightmare, yeah, another great album. But Nightmare is about where I dropped off with them. But this, this is fast. It's slow when it needs to be. It's loud when it needs to be. It's discreet when it needs to be. It kind of just wiggles around nicely. You know what I mean? Like it's not that kind of metal where it's just super loud in your face the whole time and it's just like a wall of sound. There's like intricacies to it. So for me, no, I definitely enjoyed this album, and it was a nice find.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not like when Chancey brought Day aside to the show.
And then got it wrong.
Yeah, Chancey decided to call it D side instead of Day aside.
Well, I missed an eye. What do you say? It was the Cyclops Day.
D side would be the name of the band that Charlie would start in Always Sunny because he always wants to kill D. But so yeah, but yeah, when he performed with the Rollins band, I never heard of it either. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be another one of his fucking blues shit or like his fucking.
So optimistic.
Yeah, I get it all the time. It's great.
Can't likes getting it, but it's just like I started playing it this morning. I'm like, these because I was on Spotify, so I couldn't like preview it when I first like saved it to my phone. Like I had to like wait to go on YouTube to look it up. Yeah. And so when I put it on this morning, I listened to that this morning too because I totally blanked out last night listening to music. But I listened to it this morning as well, and I was just like, "It's not what I expected." I'm like, "This I can do. This I can deal with. I like this." And I'm like, "This is some punk ass rock." And like, I looked up Henry Rollins because I never heard. I feel like I should know who he is, but I never heard of the name. At least I don't think I have. And like once I saw who he was, I was like, "Oh." I'm like, yeah, he's been on TV shows and like movies I watched and stuff and done voices in cartoons I watched. So like he freaking voiced the character in Batman Beyond, for God's sake. So
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like he's done a lot of work in every industry in the entertainment world. So I'm like, okay, I should know who this guy is. And apparently he likes to perform with his shirt off because every picture that was on Wikipedia was of him with the shirt off. So
yep, and barefoot.
All he needs to do is take his pants off, and he's freaking lead singer of Green Jelly. But
yeah,
trust me, I've seen it. He does fucking Three Little Pigs in his freaking boxers.
Well,
show's a show. But yeah, I was
gonna say they usually close the show with that. So yeah, if I'm closing the show, by that time I'm pretty much gonna be stripped down anyway. Like, oh my god, I'm so fucking hot.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed the Rollins band. It was a way to wake. It was one hell of a way to wake up somewhere. I'll tell you that much too. Like the first thing you hear is that, and it's like, oh, damn, like that wakes you up. But so yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought. I also didn't think it was a metal thing. I thought it was like or a rock thing. I thought it was like a blues thing. Like
it's got a rock thing. Like to me, like what made it feel like it was a metal thing. I understand like maybe a punk. Anyways, like for me, like when you listen to Disconnect and the first thing you hear is like the and he plugs in his like guitar jack. I was like, yeah, okay, we're definitely not in the like. To me, that's a metal thing. Like that, I feels like a maybe punk, but like that's like, all right, we're recording. What chord do I have to play? All right, and then we like really get into the energy of it,
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, and actually, well, because I saw in the picture Chancey sent me the tracks that started with Wait. So I wanted to make sure I heard the opening track that he put as the first one. And I heard it and I was like, when I was hearing that, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, because like it's all spoken word, that like track. I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? Is this just some angry ranting guy that's basically Chancey in the 90s?
Right.
But I'm like, I don't no. But then as soon as I went to disconnect, I was like, there we go. This is what this is. Like I thought I was about to listen to a stand-up comedy album or something, but I was like, there we go. That signifies it. But yeah, when you said that, it just made me think of that like completely. So, Chancey, your album. What are your top 5 or 12?
I had 14 on this one.
You pulling a Jeremy motherfucker.
Oh, just about. Alien Blueprint was my first honorable mention. Shine, Volume 4, Airplanes, Wrong Man, Step Back, Divine, Icon. Definitely all worthy of honorable mention. Same with Wait. I kind of left it off the list more so because of the whole spoken word bit. Mostly because my number one has an element of spoken word to it as well.
I assume your number 1 would be Wait.
Nope. Number 5 was Civilized. Number 4 was Fool. Number 3 was Bone Tired. Number 2 was Disconnect. And then number 1 for me is Liar. It was for sure. Oh, for sure. It's got that combination of spoken word and then punk rock, and then I can get where the metal would come into play because it's just that chorus is fucking sick.
Yeah.
The video. I recommend looking up the video online because
I'll check it out.
Oh, dude, he's literally just covered in red paint, and then it just there's like these light changes, and then it's like goes into chorus. It's like red, 'cause I'm a liar. It's like, oh yeah. Okay, we're here. This is what we're doing. I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah.
Well, what were your top 5 there, Jaian?
So for me, I got the first 2 tracks. I love them. Like Disconnect and Fool are in there. I also Liar, like we just went over. Liar is like could not be missed. Alien Blueprint, like, and for the 5th one, they're all really good. But I think I'm just gonna go with Volume 4 for my last one. But like I said, this is the type of album that you can't really go wrong with any of the picks in the top 5. I feel like you could take this album. Like I understand, like there's a well thought out storyline between all these 12 songs. But like you could take any of these 5 songs. Any of these 12 songs and put them in like an EP of 5, I feel like they're all interchangeable and they all like connect well with each other. That's what I felt when I listened to this album. But those 5 for me were definitely my top.
Nice.
Well, I actually had 7 for the CD.
Nice.
And my honorable mentions were Disconnect and Step Back because they're both great tracks, but they weren't top 5 material, I don't think. Nice. Number 5 was Shine, because Shine was pretty damn good. Number 4 was Fool, because, I mean, I was thinking of Dog Fashion Disco when I started hearing it, but...
That's awesome.
Yeah. Number 3 was Civilized, because that song still, like, is so relevant today. Number 2 was Divine Object of Hatred, because I could feel that shit. Like, the lyrics in that were like, ooh, I feel this, and I relate to this. And of course, number 1 was Alien Blueprint, because it had to be. I mean, being a paranormal guy I am, I gotta love my Alien Blueprint. So, but yeah, overall, I mean, but I do agree that the tracks kind of are interchangeable, like because they're all so similar. Like, it literally changed 3 tracks at one point when I looked away and I didn't even like realize 3 tracks were played. I thought it was just one long song.
Okay.
So like I could definitely see like that point of it too as well. But it was a lot better. It was a lot better than what I was fearing was going to be when I turned it on, Chancey. So I thought you were sunhousing me, you son of a bitch. But
no, I'll wait and slip that one in when you're least expecting it.
Well, that's the best way to do it. But yeah, which brings us to my CD, I believe, at this point. And
which one?
Well, that's the thing, listeners. Just so you know what's going on here. Originally, the CD that Jaian brought to us was only 5 tracks, so I was like, I'll go with a 5-track EP as well because I'll be nice and not make someone listen to 15, 20 songs because they only gave me 5. And then in rolls Chance, he won with his CD of 18, 19 freaking tracks. So I don't know. I just decided, like, all right. So, and then Jaian came back to me a couple days ago and says, "Can I change my CD to this?" And I'm like, "Sure." And after I say yes, I look at him like 30 fucking tracks.
Well, I'm sorry, but also I'm not, because this album is awesome. I don't regret it. Like you think I feel bad. I don't feel bad. I think I did the right thing.
And I'm not complaining. I mean, it works for me. I mean, the original CD I actually listened to, and I did put all 5 songs in order, but I did enjoy the original one as well. Well, parts of it. I was going to make fun of it somewhat, but I did. This CD I did enjoy. So I enjoyed it, the one you brought. So, but I had to add, audience, a second EP because, well, I'll just say it. I brought Mad Child, even though we just did Swollen Members 2 times in the last few episodes. But I brought Mad Child because I wanted to bring solo Mad Child, and technically this episode was supposed to be for the second Swollen Members episode. But I threw in another one EP because Mad Child has 2 solo EPs he put out when he first started doing his own solo stuff more, when he got kicked out of the United States. So,
Whoops.
I mean, that's what happens when you can beat Eminem in a rap battle. But what's going on, David? Glad to have you watching, buddy. And what's going on, Mike? Sorry, I didn't see your comment right away. But what's going on, guys? So yeah, I brought Mad Child's King of Pain EP, which was his first one, and then I brought his little Monster EP, which was his second one.
Want to cut off a dragon, eh? You got something against dragons? Yeah, I'm excited, man. Clarity in my life, dog. Yeah. My charge is federal. Verses come in edible bulk. I'm unforgettable. Yeah, little incredible hope. Think you on fire? I'm a fire hydrant. Small tyrant, but stand like a tall giant. So vibrant. Trust me, I'm a hi-fi sci-fi project. But I'm a white boy, so I drive by projects. I'm a king, call me Maharabi. But I'm a kamikaze in a trench coat sitting in your lobby. You can catch me in the tube playing a little hockey. But I sold all of my rings, no more Liberace. Who needs diamonds? Open up my mouth and I shine when I'm rhyming. Get paid for assignments. I used to be so off alignment in an awful climate. But now I'm back on the grid like a waffle iron. Put me in the Fantastic Four, I'll be the Human Torch. Nah, I'm the Silver Surfer, he's a stupid dork. Like Mork from Ork in his rainbow suspenders. Battle anybody, shit, there ain't no contenders. Swollen Members, that's a name to remember. Best out this summer, be the same in December. I'm the misguided angel, I'm insane with revenge. Kill you, kill your DJ, and the same for your friends. Revenge like the Punisher, take out your family. Call me 212, I will take out humanity. You better start panicking, it's gonna be anarchy. I'm back, shit, I got this covered like a canopy. Wow, wow, like a dungeon dragon. Mad child, kill a couple hundred niggas. You don't wanna become my baggage. Warlock stirring up a cauldron, magic. Wow, wow, like a dungeon dragon. Mad child, kill a couple hundred niggas. You don't wanna become my baggage. Warlock stirring up a cauldron, magic. Rapping with the repetition of a strobe light. Special mission, separate vision, I am so bright. Snow White, but I ain't got 7 dwarfs. A little devil, I'm just trying to get through heaven's doors. Drugs are bad, they lure you with no control and leave you empty like a whore with a broken soul. My mind's dangerous, I'm on remote control. I'll put your heart out of your chest and leave an open hole. I quit drugs, now I'm perfectly in tune. I'm the Silver Surfer, I am surfing through your room. Yeah, perfectly in tune while I circulate the moon. I go to bed at 6 and I percolate at noon. And everything is work-related, perforated doom. Rappers think they Hercules, regurgitating goons. Crazy clown face dance like it's Halloween. While Baby Rocky knock you out like Apollo Creed. Real life warmonger, I killed brain cells, came back more stronger. Mad child, old school newcomer. I lost 4 winters to blew through summers. Mercenary with a scary lack of mercy, but it's remarkable I land with total accuracy. Row, row, like a dungeon dragon. Mad child, kill a couple hundred niggas. You don't wanna become my baggage. Warlock stirring up a cauldron, magic. Row, row, like a dungeon dragon. Mad child, kill a couple hundred niggas. You don't wanna be my baggage. Mad child, stirring up a cauldron, magic. I'm older than the phone on the wall in your grandma's kitchen. I still roll down windows and say bitchin'. I do not get paid for a week I'm missing. Mad child, about as old as Coleco Vision, a reek of wisdom. You could hear it through your speaker system. Battle axe on my fixer listening. Help me, I'm really freaking out, seeing out. I'm the sickest rapper and got diarrhea of the mouth. A lot of rappers talk about what they don't be about. It leaves a lot of them out there, including me in doubt. Hey, unless you get a verse from me. I'm smarter than an 8-year term in university. Try not to take it personally. I do this perfectly. I got a buzz like a worker bee.
Row, row,
How's that for
row,
an
row, like a Dungeons Dragon.
Yeah.
Row, row, like a Dungeons Dragon. Row, row, like a Dungeons Dragon. Row, row, like a
I'm holding it
Dungeons
down here in
Dragon.
the front.
Row, row,
With my
like a
dog
Dungeons
Jekyll,
Dragon.
my dog
Row, row.
Lola.
And both these relate to the full-length CDs that came out around them as well, but we'll get into those eventually on this show. But we'll talk about the King of Pain EP first, since it's the first one that came out and it's the first one I brought. Which there's a very funny picture of Matt Child as a kid on the front of it, which I didn't realize that was him until I watched a video for one of our last episodes, Chancey, that he was on.
That's really funny.
And like I saw him with hair actually for the first time, and I'm like, oh my god, that is him in the cover. I never on all the videos I've seen of him, he never had hair. Like they were all newer videos, so he's like completely shaved or bald, like he's and tattoo covered. Back then, he looked like J-Rock from Trailer Park Boys back then. But at least that's what I see him as. But so yeah, I had to bring these because Matt Child's EPs are amazing. Like they're not as good as his full CDs, of course, but I mean they're just his lyrics and his flow and the beats that he gets from his friends are so amazing. So I had to bring it. Like Matt Child's and King of Pain is one of my favorite CDs he does. And Little Monster too, like that's just so many good tracks in that one. So many good tracks in that one. Like when you put on YouTube play mixes of Matt Child, you get a lot of his EP work in those mixes. So that's what made me fall in love with them. But as our guest, Jaian, what did you think of them?
This one is a vibe. I think straight from the opening, I have this Spotify open here. Drugs in my pocket. Like he's got this in this track specifically, he's got this sort of like talky but rappy vocal going on. Like it's more like a storytelling vocal. I feel like there's rhythm, there's some sort of pitch, but he's just like on the beat, and those snares are just, that's the thing with like hip hop. Like the snare is going to be it's the sample. It's the tack, 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 and you just copy paste it across the board here. And I really like how consistent it hits, but you're listening to the lyrics here. That's what you're focusing on. It's the complete opposite of the pick I had, where like you're just listening to all the elements. I feel like here it's like you're listening to the story. What does he have to say? And then what happens? And what happens next? And I think that storytelling is like constructed in a very creative way on this EP. That's what I think.
Have you heard of Matt Child before this or no? Just
No,
curious.
no, never heard of him before.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really in the rap world, I don't think, right?
I contrary to popular belief, I used to do rap music. I used to rap, and but yeah, I just did it for fun. But this I'm not well versed in this world.
Well, Chancey, what did you think of Matt Child's solo? Since this is probably the first time you heard it.
I got nothing bad to say. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things where I was just sitting there listening to it, and the first one I don't like, the first one was good. I honestly liked Little Monsters a little bit more. That's just personal preference more than anything. But then, like, as you go along, you're gonna pick up speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, I mean, by that point, he already been a rapper for fucking like a decade and a half. But
Yeah.
he was going solo, so he had to learn how to not like just be a verse in between other people. He had to learn how to do a full track by himself. So
Yep.
it kind of like was a learning curve for him. But I mean, he also he won in the mid '90s, like so many like rap battle competitions in America, like big ones, like King of Diamonds, I think it's called, or something like that. I forget what the hell the name of the actual contest is called, but like he beat out a lot of known '90s rappers in those freaking contests. So he can do freestyle like nothing else. But I think he was trying not to do that in his EPs at first, and that's what fucked him up. And hey, Casey, what's going on, cutie?
Hi, honey. The Jackal.
Yeah, Matt Child's track, The Jackal. Yeah. But so I actually just broke down each CD because there's 6 tracks in each CD. So I just basically pick my top 5, and then the other one's just honorable mention for each one. But we'll go around to King of Pain first, and then we'll jump forward to Low Monster. But so my honorable mention for King of Pain was Tiger Blood, because I like the relevance of that song, and especially that it came out when Charlie Sheen was doing the whole thing too with Tiger Blood. But so for me, that's just more like the pop culture mention than anything. But number 5 was Drugs in My Pocket, because that's one of those songs that you hear it and it's like you get sick of it after a while. Like you can't hear it over and over again because it's like gets annoying. Number 4 was Black Belt. Number 3 was Under a Spell, because that song always, I love the beat in that song. It's just a fucking great beat.
Oh, I love the beat. Yeah, that was my favorite beat was Under a Spell. Just want to say that.
And number 2 was Gremlin, because whenever he calls himself like a monster of some kind, like a gremlin, a jackal, like he always does those tracks are always fucking amazing. Like when he's self-hating, like he always does the best work. I mean, that's why he did drugs, but I mean that's when he's self-hating, it's his best work. And my number 1 for that EP was Dungeon Dragon, because that was one of the first songs by him I ever heard. And he, like, the music video for it is basically his girlfriend at the time stripping while he raps. And
Nice.
And I love like the roar, roar, like in the chorus. So he's like on the video and the music video, you can hear it so much louder, and it's just funny. It's almost like a joke. Like it's almost like, how high were you that you wanted to actually roar? But it's like I love Dungeon Dragon. I've seen the video so many times, it's just stuck in my head always. But what were your top 5 for King of Pain, or what order did you put them in there, Jaian?
Man, the thing is, like, there's only 6 songs on this thing, so it's hard to like they're all different. I would say, like, is it cool if I give like a top 2? Is that all right?
However you want to do it, brother.
Okay, cool. So Under a Spell, just the way that beat starts is awesome, and I just like the vocals are very cool in that one as well. And I think Gremlin is the other one for me, just because it has like a dancey thing to it. You know, it's more beats. It's beat driven. I feel like the kick drum really tells. Like it's like, hey, pay attention to me on this one. It's like I'm bouncing it around and your head's gonna bob because of me. Like obviously the lyrics and everything else are a part of it, but those two for me were my favorites.
All right, Chancy, in what order did you put the King of Pain?
You know, our orders were pretty close.
Sure.
Number 6 for me, the honorable mention was Black Belt. Number 5 was Drugs in My Pocket. Number 4 was Under a Spell. Number 3 was Gremlin. 2 was Tiger Blood, and number 1 was Dungeon Dragon. That's why I was like, shit, we're lining up here. Like, what the fuck's here? Come on now.
Yeah. The other funny thing is for Dungeon Dragon's video, like he also threw in like they threw in cartoons of like dragons and cartoons and stuff, and like it's all famous cartoons, so it's kind of funny. But so that leaves the Little Monster EP, which I was really happy I got to bring both these, because I had a hard time picking one to begin with, but I wanted to go with the first one he did, and then when I picked Little Monster, it was just like, when I picked King of Pain, I was just like, we'll do Little Monster at some point. I don't know when I'll ever get a chance to do an EP on this freaking thing again. So then when you brought the longer CD, I was like, oh, I can do it now. So I'm like, I'm throwing that out there too. And it actually was a lot better than King of Pain. I realized that after I listened to it. But I don't know, mention for that one was Shit Talker, just for the beat. Because I mean, he's kind of just rambling in that song, but the beat is on point. I mean, it makes up for his just rambles that are not making any sense half the time. Because he was going through some shit with this album, obviously. Like you could tell, like he's just playing shit out there, put shit out there. But number 5 was Fuck Mad Child, because that is a good song. Like he says that he's pretty big on that. He's kind of like Green Jelly like that. Like he kind of like will have people like say like scream Fuck Mad Child to him in concerts and shit. So, but number 4 is Black Acid Devil, because the lyrics and flow in that song are fucking incredible. Number 3 is Wanted, because I love that it's all about like him getting kicked out of the United States and like forced to live in Canada. So it's kind of like exile for a rapper almost.
Okay.
Number 2 was Siphon, because that song's fucking incredible. And I love the lyrics in that song. Like, I'm a beast till I'm blue in the face. And then like, he's like, get it? Like he wants to make sure you get that's an X-Men reference. So Mad Child is well known for his comic book references all throughout Swell members and throughout his solo stuff. But like the fact that he throws one to Beast and X-Men, who is like a lesser known character than like any of the other X-Men, even like it's just funny. Like shows that he actually knows his comic book shit. But and then number one is I'm Okay. Like I just love the beat. Like the freaking keyboard in that shit is amazing. Like, and kind of reminds me of Styx's like I'm Okay song too. So that's why I like it as well. But what were your picks from Little Monster there, Jaian?
I think I love the Wanted and Siphon. Those were my two that I like. I'm Okay is also I can't deny the beat and I'm okay. It's bouncy. I feel like these two. How far apart were these EPs released? Do you know? I'd be curious to know that because I feel like they influence each other. There's some connective tissue between the two. You see what I mean? Like there's that hip, there's that hop, there's that bounce, there's that energy between the two that I feel like there's maximum like a 2-3 year difference between these two. Is what I'm putting out there.
King of Pain came out in 2011 and Little Monster came out in 2012. So they're only
exactly. These two could have been a full length as far as I'm concerned together.
Well,
yeah,
they could have been definitely, but what the hell? He's put out so many fucking singles lately.
Why are you so active?
Well, it's funny because I mean, in what I say, 2011, 2012, or
yeah,
exactly.
Because in 2011 he put out. Actually, no. In 2011, like Swollen Members put out 2 fucking CDs. So like, I think he threw out Little Monsters. I mean, I think he just threw out Well, they had a CD in 2011 called Monsters 2. So I think like he threw out the Little Monster one afterwards because I think it's tracks that he wanted to get on, but they wouldn't put them on. Like that was towards the end of Swollen Members. Like their last CD came out after he put out those 2 EPs and his CD Dope Sick, which is just about him being on fucking drugs. So it was all towards the end of his Swollen Members career and him going solo.
I got it. And the other thing I just wanted to say about Little Monster, like the artwork is my favorite. I love the artwork. As a Frankenstein fan, I've seen all the old Frankenstein movies. Frankenstein's got a special place in my heart. Very cool artwork. I loved it. So yeah, I would say just to remind the audience, Siphon, Wanted, and I'm Okay were my standouts for this one.
Well, Chancey, how about you? What were your standouts or top 5 for Little Monster?
So number 6 for me was Wanted. Number 5 was Siphon. Number 4 was I'm Okay. 3 was Black Acid Devil. Number 2 was Shit Talker. And number 1 for me was Fuck Man Child. Like, I thought that was a great way to open an album. Like, it was just it caught my attention and just didn't let go of it. So I was like, normally I'll usually write stuff down, like down to up as I'm going through. But like, I was like, no, like this one goes straight to the top. Like, do not pass go, get all the monies straight to the top.
Yeah, man. I mean, to actually listen to all Matt Child's discography in like a row, like is insane to see like the flows he goes through with his emotions, like and how he just pours it all out in his music. It's really like if you listen to this beginning solo point of his where it's all his life's fucked up, and you get to like the stuff nowadays where it's all about like I'm doing better, like find help if you need it. Like he's like all about like mental health now and everything. Like it's I mean, he's still good though. That's the thing. He's still the same old Matt Child. He'll still say the most fucked up shit in his songs just because he wants to. Like he doesn't change. That's the best part about him. It's not like where Eminem went through rehab and started sucking. But so, in my opinion, anyway. But want to thank you for coming on, Jaian. It's been amazing.
It was a pleasure.
Show.
Yeah,
and
anytime.
Tell the audience where can they find your music? Where can they find you?
So I'm at Jaian Music on social media: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. My YouTube channel, my Spotify, my SoundCloud, and it's Jaian Music, Jaian Music, and then there's my website that leads to everything else, even simpler, jaianmusic.com. That's me.
Excellent. And I advise all our listeners to go check it out because Me and Chancey didn't. It's fucking banging.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Appreciate that.
Chancey, where can they find you besides the deepest despair in their heart?
Had
Well,
you
you
replied
know.
with hi, I would have laughed so hard. Like, Chancey, where can people find you? Hi.
Hi. I'm gonna have to do that from now on. That's good. That's a good
That's your
idea.
thing. Bro, use that.
You know, I mean, outside of obviously here, you know, Facebook under my name. Nice. It does kind of, yeah, that's valid. That's valid. It does look on. In hindsight, I didn't even put those. I didn't put that together. Thanks, David. On Instagram and TikTok, it's the Red Eye Roundtable. On Twitter, it's Red Eye Table because Twitter won't let you put your whole last name and some shit. Fucking goddamn Elon, get on that shit. You know, I'm everywhere and nowhere, like Darkman.
Well, of course, and be nice to Twitter. I just fucking became blue checked, but
Oh, did you now?
I did now. You see?
Oh,
You
did you
you
now?
subscribe to Twitter Blue?
Yeah, I got Twitter blue. I mean, I needed that blue check. Blue check, folks. Way to go. But Chancey, you know they can find us as well on Facebook under Paranormal Normal / Maniacal Music Musings podcast with the S group. We need to come up with a new name for that. They can find us on Twitter and the Gram as @JuggaloBastard, and they can find us on TikTok as @JuggaloBastard Podcast. And of course, they can find us on YouTube as Maniacal Music Musings if they want to see our glorious bearded faces. And come listen to Vikings talk about music. But until next time, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Remember to
Bye.
subscribe and like. And thank you, Jaian, for coming on once again.
Of course.
It's been a fun show.
For sure.
We will see everybody next time.
No friends, no money. Ah, what's the use? If I had a gun, I'd shoot myself.
Yo, I still split atoms and neutrons, killing every rapper from LA to the Yukon. We used to pass grade poop on, now I'm clipping coupons with an old tube on. Demigod doing debit fraud, flat broke rap star, no credit card. Yeah, my head is hard, call me Mr. Thing. They rap fast, I slow it down so you don't miss a thing. I don't miss a thing, I'm a vicious king. Not having any cash when it's Christmas stings. And I am intergalactic, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle doing backflips. Let them have raw denim and some New Balance. Hit you like pow, right to the moon, Alice. I ain't got no money, but I'm on one. Wombat, I'm a swamp rat, drinking pond scum. I'm growing crops on my farmland. Kill a fucking Nazi with a swastika armband. And life's a popularity contest. Mad Child's back, one of the scariest monsters. I fucked this girl, she was barely unconscious. But now she wanna marry me, so therapy's nonsense. Yeah, I'm back, I'm a powerhouse. You a little hot dog full of sauerkraut. Mad Child, I'm a fucking grizzly. You don't make it rain, dog, it's barely drizzling. Think your shit's hot, mine is fucking sizzling. Yeah, I'm fly, I'm a fucking frisbee. Your fault they are not listening. You want some Mickey Mouse shit, Walt Disney. And you rap for the wrong reasons, while my wheels keep spinning all season. I like that. Okay, look. Yeah, I know, yeah, I was living wrong, but I know how to make it right. Yelling I'm on fire while I'm naked, Talladega Nights. Yeah, Mad Child's back, you better say goodnight. I bust a sharp left while I break right. I ain't stopping, I am running every red light. Make you stop like a deer caught in my headlights. Scratching your head like you got headlights. Thinking how the fuck did he come back? He's been dead twice. Mad Child, I'm running wild like a loose cannon. Daydream racing Drake in a new Phantom. I'm coming through in a race. I'm a beast, cause I rap till I'm blue in the face. Get it? I'm a beast till I'm blue in the face. I get it cracking like a bat with an aluminum base. Misguided angel, I'm a demon killer. Bad man in the mirror, I'm a fucking thriller. Which means you better fucking beat it, man. Hey, Mad Child spit razor sharp like an X-Acto blade. A pterodactyl, I'm a jackal with these accolades. hanging like a macrame. Crack rock, hit the jackpot, smoke a pack a day. I'm tinfoil in your microwave. Roll up on a BMX, shoot you in the face and ride my bike away. Work of art, Leonardo da Vinci. I'm a wanderer, turn a fucking baldy to mince me. I rap retardedly, I'm hardly a mystery. In a cardigan, I'm automatic marauder from Disney. It's like water and Listerine. Now that my piss clean, people are listening. I said, wow.